Gemma is a lively architect who is very passionate about her job. She is in a relationship with Darren. Gemma thinks she and Darren make a great team since they are working together, but their relationship does not seem to be as solid as she thinks. Gemma is family-oriented and hopes that one day she can build the perfect family, while Darren is taking his time. They are both working on a very important project. Gemma is a confident woman. She gives her presentation enthusiastically, but the clients do not seem very impressed by it. They start bombarding her with endless questions, but she answers each one of them. Gemma tries to seal the deal, but by giving her opinion on what is most aesthetically pleasing for the project they are building, the clients rise up to leave. Gemma's boss, Patty, interferes and tells them that this is only their first project, and they are ready to make revisions to satisfy their needs. The clients refuse to give them a second chance and inform them they will go with the proposal from their rival agency because they seem to understand their sensibilities better. Gemma is shocked and apologizes to everyone in the room. Darren points out the problem with her plan, asking her if she really thought her creativity would cover for her mistake. Gemma did what she thought was right. Her plan made the best use of space. Darren points out that the client is always right, but the boss defends Gemma and tells him that she agreed with Gemma because it is brilliant. Darren tells them he will go after the clients because he will not give up after putting too much work into this project. Gemma takes offense to his words because she has spent more time perfecting her plan than Darren has. Gemma is sad that things didn't work out well. She thought she checked all the boxes, but Patty tells her that sometimes the boxes we do not see are the ones that need to be checked the most. Gemma calls her Aunt Lanny, wishing for her support. Lanny gives Gemma encouraging words and praises her beauty. Lanny knows exactly what Gemma's job means to her, but Gemma now doubts herself because she put her entire life on hold to get it right, but it was all over in 5 minutes. Lanny tells Gemma to do what she loves, and that way, success will follow. She shares a Hawaiian saying with her, which is, put on your dancing shoes, and leave the shame at home. Gemma ends the call with Lanny and meets Darren for lunch. He does not look very happy with the client's decision. Gemma asks if he is okay and suggests that she can still explain that her design would benefit them. Darren does not want to hear that. He tells her that this opportunity could have been a year's worth of living for them both, and it could have put a lot of equity in their relationship bank. Gemma smiles in disbelief. She never thought about their relationship like a checking account. Darren thinks her positivity is naive. Gemma disagrees with that and tells him this is not the end for them because she did not go to architecture school for 4 years just to bury her opinion in a meeting. Darren tells her that they should slow things down, but Gemma thinks that is crazy coming from a guy who has been doing exactly that for 4 years. Gemma is honest with Darren. She is being herself and has nothing to be sorry for, so she breaks up with him. She sees now that she can't be with someone like him anymore. Patty finds Gemma crying in her office. Gemma tells her that she thought today would be special, but her life has been blown to pieces. She even thought Darren would propose to her. Patty does not know how to console her, but she tells Gemma when a man breaks her heart, she breaks out the ice cream, and that makes the broken-hearted laugh. Gemma receives a call from her sister, Sarah, and her day does not seem to stop getting worse when Sarah tells her that Lanny's heart gave out. Gemma is in shock, stating that she just talked to Lanny this morning. But Sarah confirms that Lanny is gone. Gemma breaks down in tears and takes the first flight to Maui. Sarah comes to pick her up, and they hug each other. Their father, Pono, also shows up. He gives Gemma flowers to welcome her and cries in sadness. The three of them do not know how to react to the tragic news because Lanny was a special person in their life. Pono believes it is a blessed day when they are all together and hugs his daughters. Gemma and Sarah finally sit down to have a talk. Sarah wants to know everything that happened between her sister and Darren. Gemma tells her that they were not growing together as a couple after 4 years of dating. Sarah thinks that dating someone for that long makes Gemma a perpetual renter of love, but never getting her name on the mortgage. Gemma thinks that is something Lanny would have said. Sarah gives Gemma dating advice since she is a happily married woman. Sarah is married to Mike. He is very happy to see Gemma after much absence. Mike thinks that it would be healthy for her to stay in Maui a little longer, but Gemma is caught up with work and can only stay through Laney's service. Maui is a peaceful place on Earth, even on such a sad day. So many people showed up to celebrate and honor Lanny, and Gemma could not have been more pleased. Lanny had a lot of good family and friends and was loved by everyone. Gemma gets to see her niece, Emma, who has grown up a lot since they have last seen each other. At the service, Gemma meets Franklin Decker, Lanny's attorney. He tells her that Lanny has 2 properties, one that is her house and the other is the land around it. He also informs her that Lanny wished for the money she left to go to the renovation of the house she loved very much. Gemma turns to her father upon hearing this, thinking it would be a perfect project for him. But the attorney tells them that Lanny had something else in mind, or rather someone else. Lanny gave the house to Gemma and Sarah. Gemma and Sarah are both shocked. Sarah thinks the house is a wreck because when her late aunt moved to the retirement home, it fell apart. Pono is sad that she is talking about the house like that because this was Lanny's wish, and they need to respect it instead of thinking about selling the house or abandoning it. The attorney says that if they want to sell it, Gemma needs to renovate it first because Lanny wants her to oversee the work. Lanny's condition surprised her because she could not stay any longer in Maui, and she has a job and a life to get back to. The others try to talk Gemma into accepting Lanny's last wish, but if she agrees to renovate the house, she is going to need a contractor. In fact, Lanny had it all figured out. She had planned everything ahead. Even her choice of contractor was taken, and the attorney invited him as well. Ben makes an appearance, impressing everyone with his good looks. They all wave at him, excited to see him again. Gemma seems to know who the man is and moves close to Franklin to question him if Lanny really wanted to hire Ben Fincher. He confirms that Lanny was very explicit as to who she wanted, and it is none other than Ben. At the back, Mike whispers and asks Sarah if Ben is really the guy she dated before. At that moment, Gemma tries to smile, although awkwardly, and nervously chuckles. Gemma has not seen Ben in years. She greets him indifferently, and he asks if she is still holding a grudge against him. Gemma sarcastically answers that every 17-year-old girl should get stood up by their homecoming crush and have to dance all by themselves. So, it is fair to say Gemma has still not forgotten about that terrible night. Ben had left her to go surfing, and Gemma tells him it is pretty much like cheating. Ben tries to make her understand that he was competing in the state surf championships, which is why he left her alone. Ben apologizes for Gemma's loss. Gemma asks him why Lanny chose him in particular to be the contractor, but Ben is as surprised as her. Gemma laughs, thinking they were both ambushed into renovating the house. Ben does not feel that way. He is thrilled that Lanny chose him. Gemma is not very keen on small talk. She cuts to the chase and tells him that she needs to get the project done so she can go back to her life. Ben tells her that it would be nice to work together if she just forgave him, and hopes that life has treated her more kindly ever since that day he cheated on her with the ocean. Gemma chuckles at his sarcasm and tells him she will think about forgiving him. Gemma goes away, but Ben is still not done talking. He tells her that Lanny spoke about Gemma's career, and she also complained to him about her unlikable boyfriend. Gemma corrects him that Darren is now her ex-boyfriend. When the tables are turned, and Gemma asks Ben personal questions, he awkwardly answers, avoiding giving her details about his life. Ben tells Gemma that Lanny was concerned he has not found the right woman yet. Ben has assured Lanny that he is very satisfied with how his life is going. He is a happy contractor who is passionate about his job. Gemma sees through his facade, and Ben admits that he was ambushed as well by Lanny. They both laugh, finding the situation amusing. They shake their hands awkwardly and agree to meet the next day to start work. Lanny's house is a special place for Gemma's family. Both Gemma and Sarah bring up their memories in the house. Sarah tells Gemma that Lanny chose her because she believed in her potential. She is the perfect person to renovate it because she knows its value. Sarah warns Gemma that the house is in horrible condition, but Gemma thinks it can't be that bad. It does not take Gemma much to admit Lanny's place is a dump at first glance. She and Sarah find Ben waiting for them. After a long awkward silence, Sarah leaves them alone. Ben and Gemma finally face the house, and he describes it as beautiful. Gemma frowns at his choice of words, but Ben assures her that they simply need a reminder of what the house used to be and what it could be turned into. Gemma agrees, wishing to honor Lanny's house, and moves to open the door. Ben runs just in time to save her since the door almost falls on her head. Once inside the house, Gemma is surprised by how the interior has changed. She trips and almost falls, but luckily Ben catches her. Ben smiles at her clumsiness, and the two stare at each other. They are so close for the first time. Ben thinks that he should take the lead so no more accidents happen. Although Gemma has a lot of new ideas, she tells Ben that the only thing she does not want to change about the house is a window in a distant room. She looks outside to see the ocean and tells Ben that she and Lanny used to stand there and spot the whales breaching offshore. Ben suggests that they should keep the window but make it bigger. Gemma smiles at him, liking his idea. She thinks Lanny would have loved the open floor plan, and that makes Ben question if Gemma is fixing the place for her aunt or selling it to some couple. Gemma and Ben check out the backyard. They listen to the sound of waves crashing and share their ideas. They find it difficult to reach a middle ground because each one has a different vision. They argue over a fireplace, which Gemma deems unnecessary, but Ben thinks it gives the house some character. Gemma finds fault in every suggestion Ben makes, thinking that his plan is time-consuming and might cost a lot of money, and she does not have both. Ben assures her that he has never gone over budget in any of his jobs. They try to make it work, but Gemma thinks that time is the only thing she can't spare. She leaves the house, and Ben follows her, trying to understand how he might have offended her. Ben explains that his work is never just business. It is not all about money because he enjoys what he does and tries to preserve the essence of every house. Gemma tells him it is none of his business, and that he should respect the idea that the client is always right. Ben hates that the most about his job, and tells her that if the client knew everything, he would not ask for his help. Ben tells Gemma he may not be the right guy for this job since they are not on the same page, and he might never be. Gemma tells Pono that Ben has quit. He asks her why that happened because Ben is not a quitter, so she reveals that she fired him because they do not see eye to eye. Pono tells her that she might be living in the big city, but Maui will always be her home. So, she needs to make some sacrifices to honor the woman who was like a mother to her. Pono tells Gemma to do the right thing and follow her dream. He also thinks she would inspire Sarah to do the same and open the bakery she has always dreamed of. Pono tells Gemma that Ben told Lanny that her home was her legacy to be remembered for at least 100 years. Gemma is surprised that Ben said that and tries to make things right with him. Gemma apologizes and tells him that Lanny's legacy deserves better. Ben agrees, only if they do it together because the house is always right. Gemma receives plenty of calls and messages from Darren, but she ignores him. She suddenly receives an email from her aunt and is shocked by that. She is unable to open it, so she seeks help from Emma. Gemma follows Ben's advice and brings a sledgehammer. He introduces her to Ethan, his friend who helps him out sometimes. Ethan exclaims that he did not know she would be so hot, putting Ben in an awkward position. Ben apologizes for his friend's behavior because clearly, Ethan has no filters. Gemma laughs and tells him he reminds her of a surfer kid she used to know in high school. Ben chuckles, knowing she is talking about him. Ben shows Gemma how to use the sledgehammer. They get so close as he teaches her, but decide to get some space away from each other when things become intense. Gemma thinks she has got it, when in reality she is awful at it. Ben tells her to just let it out. Gemma pours her frustrations all at once, admitting she misses Lanny, that she wasted 4 years with her ex-boyfriend, and also that she does not like designing buildings for penny-pinching businessmen. Ben is taken aback by her outburst, but at least she finally hits the wall successfully. Gemma and Ben work side by side until the end of the day. Ben tells Gemma what he has been up to after high school. Gemma is glad Lanny chose Ben. She shares her struggles in the past with him because she stumbled upon many random jobs before she landed the one she wanted. Ben watches her speak about her hopes and dreams, finding what she is saying relatable about the meaning of happiness. Ben tells Gemma that it is all about love. It should be at the heart of everything we do because it is worth it. Gemma smiles, thinking he is deeper than he was at high school. As Gemma and Ben are working, she hurts herself while using a hammer. Ben comes to the rescue and puts ice on her injured hand. He holds it gently and kisses it, hoping that would help her feel better. Ben tells her they should take the rest of the day off, and that he wants to show her something special. Ben takes Gemma to a beautiful place by the beach. Gemma is at a loss for words and is happy to see what Ben prepared, a special homecoming just for her. Ben plays some music and tells Gemma he wants to make up for the time she danced alone when he stood her up in the past. They sway to the romantic tune and finally kiss as the sun sets. Sarah thinks Gemma is falling in love with Ben. When she learns about their kiss, Gemma does not want to make a big deal out of it, but secretly knows what she and Ben share is unique. Sarah finally has the courage to start planning for her bakery, and Gemma is happy to hear that. Sarah then proceeds to talk about Darren selling Lanny's house. Sarah tells Gemma she received a call from Darren offering them his real estate services to sell it. Sarah could not refuse Darren's offer because she thought it would be impolite, but she did not accept either. She convinces Gemma to think about it because Darren's services would save them a ton of money. Gemma and Ben are now a collaborative team working together to achieve Lanny's last wish. Although they flirt all day, they get the job done, no matter how many distractions, like Ben's naked torso, which is just another reminder of Ben's attractive physique. Gemma finds Darren outside the house. He finds her with Ben and only shakes his hand after much thought. Darren addresses Ben disrespectfully, feeling jealous that Gemma might be moving on without him. Gemma asks Ben to give them some time so they can speak privately. Gemma praises Ben, and that annoys Darren. He wanted to see her face to face to present the proposal he has for her and Sarah. Gemma says that he is late, but Darren does not want to give up. He tells her that he knows how to fix things and shows her the view of Lanny's house, which he describes as a paradise for 36 families. He wants her to think about it because it will make them wealthy. Darren wants to benefit from Lanny's house and tells her they will make a fortune. Gemma tells Darren that it is unnerving coming from him and asks him what is in it for him. It turns out this opportunity will improve his career. Darren regrets the way he treated Gemma before and asks her to think deeply about the offer because it will launch her career as well. Ben is curious to know what Darren had to say to Gemma. She tells him that Darren came to her with an investment opportunity, which requires demolishing the entire house to build up a new one. Gemma thinks it would benefit her and her family financially. She does not know what to do because her conversation with Darren has changed everything. Gemma talks to her family about Darren's offer. Sarah would be able to open her own bakery, Gemma would not struggle anymore financially, and Emma would get the chance to enroll in a private college of her choice. Pono wants what is good for his family, but does not give Gemma an answer until she pushes him to. Pono breaks down in tears, telling Gemma that he can only hope the condo project is the right choice. Emma fixes Gemma's laptop, and she finally gets to read the mysterious email. Lanny had sent her a video, in which she tells Gemma that when it comes to love, she should never settle for less than she deserves because true love is more than a practical choice. Lanny prays that one day, Gemma will find a man who will love her and cherish her for what she is. Lanny thinks Gemma's goodness will change the world. Gemma hears Lanny's last message and cries, missing her dearly. Ben manages to finish renovating the house before it is demolished. He surprises Gemma by turning the abandoned place into a heavenly home by the beach. Now, Gemma can see the potential of this place and is amazed by what Ben has achieved. Gemma and her family find Darren and their former client waiting for them. Darren tries to be charming, but Pono finds him annoying. Gemma is now hesitant to sell the house when Darren asks for her signature. Sarah starts first, and when it is Gemma's turn, Darren tells her that he has a special pen just for her. When he opens the box, Gemma finds a ring inside. Gemma gasps and asks Darren what he is doing. Darren was down on one knee, and upon her question rose. He tells her that he is trying to fix what was broken in their relationship. He thought this would be a romantic way to start a new partnership. Gemma tells Darren they do not have a life together anymore. She looks back at the house and smiles. She looks at her father and then at Darren. She closes the box and tells Darren that she realized she already has a partner. Darren is disappointed, even more so after seeing his client's angry expression. Gemma promises both Sarah and Emma to help them find a way to achieve their dreams. The deal is now off. Gemma has decided against selling Lanny's legacy. The client threatens to sue her, but Gemma advises him to stay in Maui for a while so the ocean will wash his arrogance away. Gemma is thrilled by the turn of events and runs straight inside the house. She can't believe how much it has changed. Gemma finds Ben waiting with a flower garland in hand. She tells him what happened, and he smiles. He already watched the whole thing through the window. The look on Gemma's face is exactly what Ben wanted to see. Her happiness was his wish. He had to finish his work even when he suspected it would be blown to pieces. Gemma can't believe the beauty of the place. She looks around her in disbelief. It took Ben only 48 hours to get the job done. Ben tells Gemma that he recruited a team, which was formed of Ethan's millennial buddies. Gemma smiles happily at the whale window, which is now wider than before. Ben has turned Lanny's old place into a home Gemma can see herself living in someday. Ben thinks it is the result of their combined effort. Pono brings inside a table he has been making for Lanny. He has finished it just in time for the big reveal. Gemma now understands that Pono was in on the whole conspiracy as well. Ben smiles, admitting that her father is one of the favors he called in. Gemma asks Pono to put the table by the large whale window, and they all observe it in awe. Ben asks Gemma what has changed her mind. Gemma remembered what Lanny had said in the video. Gemma wanted to be loved for the right reasons. She apologizes to Ben for giving up on him when he has never given up on her or the house. Ben pulls her closer for a passionate kiss. 3 months later, the whole family is gathered in the newly renovated house. Gemma has a surprise for Sarah. She is now the new owner of a bakery, all thanks to Gemma, who sold her condo in Los Angeles. Gemma is now with Ben. She gave up her life in the big city to settle down with him in heavenly Maui.